Hey, welcome back, tubers. So I thought I'd look at the right camera for a change. I thought I'd do a live feed. I've got an hour and a half spare before I have to open and start doing some work, and it is a little bit cold Monday morning, if I should be honest. I'm sitting in here in a t-shirt, but I have been working to clean my shed up a little bit, as I usually do. So I thought I'd have a hangout and a chat for a little while, see what's happening within the community, and general Q&A. If you are here later on down the road, down, week or two down the track, feel free to comment below. I always try and reply if I get a chance to. Typically in the first week I'm really all over it, and then after that it sort of tapers off, but get after it and see what we can do. Anyway, it looks like the chat is starting to populate. How is everyone today on this wonderful Monday morning? What have we got on up the sleeve? Customs. Brad, I've got to send you a test video, Brad, because I don't know whether or not it's good or not. Morning, Mark. Send me some. If someone wants to have a look at the next video coming up, shoot me a little quick message, because I want to work out whether to do it in 2 videos or 1. It'll be one 20-minute or 25 or even 30-minute video, or 1 or 2 15-minute videos. I don't know what to do, so I'm working on that. You still got crackly audio. I hear static. Oh, what? Delivery waiting game. Why is there crackly audio again? Okay, I'll change this over. I'll turn this off. I think it was that last time. If I plug that in here, plug that in here. I'm glad the camera, you probably couldn't see that, but one of the studio lights just fell on my head. I have been playing with the audio for the last half an hour trying to get it to be a little bit better, but I am through the GoPro at the moment, and of course the GoPro has I don't know which microphone. I don't know. Anyway, the GoPro has the new Rode mic on it, and it should be a lot better, but it's not doing the audio through the Rode mic. It's going through the Logitech web camera. What do we got? Crack the audio. Hey, static. Hey, man, 25 minutes. Good. We can pause. Saturday night. How's the future, brother? Future's bloody cold. Robots taking noise. Noise is bad. GoPro plugged into AC charger. Yes. Worse. Is that any better? I might bring the Logitech camera a little bit closer and then turn down the gain a little bit. Maybe that'll help. Is that any better? I brought the camera really close. It's still the same. Chargers can cause audio clipping. If I unplug the charger, any better? Sound is still bad. Well, I quit. Fuck it. I'm out of here. I may as well go and do some work. Ah, damn it. Hey, right, we got audio back. No volume. Swear it, I did. No, I did many times. When you weren't here, I was swearing a lot. Fix the problem. No more static clipping. Is that because you couldn't hear shit? Right. Yeah, very staticky. Clipping back. Okay, so that is the Rode microphone. I wonder if I unplug it, is that any better? So that's from the Rode back to the GoPro. What am I up to today? Apparently I'm here, sitting here trying to fix audio issues. Welcome to my life. Better. Perfect. What the hell? So that's $150 Rode mic is causing the problem. I don't get it. You know, back in the day when yous all used to whinge and bitch about me audio being shit in my videos, now I'm trying to do better and it's worse. Work that shit out. Anyways, what's going on, community members? What's happening? I told you the Rodes are no good. I love it. Like, it's great for when I'm in here, but it just, I don't know. Maybe because it's just through the HDMI. Maybe it's the capture card. Maybe I need a better capture card. Thanks for helping with my PIP settings last night. All good, dude. It's a lot easier for me to do that than try and reply to 600 messages a night. I still average... On an average day, it's probably 25 to 50 messages a day, and on a busy day, it's 100 to 150 messages a day. So anybody that sends me a message and doesn't get a reply, it's not my fault. I have a life, and I do apologise. Being sent continuously. My directional one was mad in my phone until it failed too. I got one for my phone as well somewhere. I got this one as well. I got that Rode mic for my camera, for my phone. But the next day I upgraded from an iPhone 6 to an iPhone XS. And of course that's got the little 2.5mm jack. So I've probably used that for a few hours and that's it. It sits there though. It's an important bit of kit to have lying around because I do have the 6 sitting over here I do some recording with. Do you think your 1S pack connection should be fused? No. At what point do you stop and say, I've got 80 fuses on a 1S pack. I'm fairly sure you mean actually do one pack to the next. No, that's just madness. One battery bank to the next? Yeah, I agree with that. But one pack to the next, I think there's that point where it's just madness. You keep adding safety, but the safety also adds resistance. So you're gonna safety yourself out of practicality. How dare you have a life, Jake? We appreciate you. Hello from Italy. You'll be surprised how many people get real narky. I don't know why, for some inexplicable reason, I'm getting lots from like the African type countries. Now that's not a racist thing, that's simply a geographical thing. And they must have a different culture or something like that. When you don't reply within 10 minutes, they go, hello, question mark. And then an hour later they go, are you there, question mark. And then an hour later again, I think I've got all my activity turned off, so you can't see when I'm on or off. And they all seem to do it. It must be a cultural thing. But I'm not being rude. I simply can't reply to all of them. There is just no way. And a lot of them are half a page messages with lots and lots of detail, which I'd rather detail than no detail. And they want me to help troubleshoot their system, and it's like, dude, I've got to Google my own issues. So yeah, anyways, moving forward. Where are you from? If there's anybody new in the room, please leave your location. That does two things. One, lets me know you're actually here and watching. And two, it also adds to my YouTube interaction thing where YouTube thinks I'm more important and promote it more. So, Batrium. Don't want Batrium. Don't need Batrium. I still haven't upgraded my Watchmon yet. I was meant to do that yesterday, but it was on and off rain all day. and it was shitty rain. It was just this little tiny sprinkle every now and again, but you can't play with electricity whilst you're doing that. You're good now doesn't seem to support USB-C. Can solar charging harm e-bike or e-skate batteries like straight from to boost control MPPT? If you've got the right controller, you're fine. I love the battery pack behind you. Which one? That one? You're not supposed to see that one. That one's not finished yet. I was going to move it, but it's too heavy. High lithium solar, what's your drill battery? Absolutely. Lithium solar's got some good content out there lately. Well, you've always had good content, dude, but you're stepping up your game, and it's friggin' awesome. I think I watched them all on my smart TV last night. The problem with smart TV, can't hit like, so I've got to go through and watch them again on my computer. I use the nickel strip self-using for my 1S 3 kilowatt pack. I'm happy with them for battery hookup. Yeah, use Powerwalls as a discount code so Pete can earn a living. I use the nickel strip self-users. I need to professionally you need to professionally entertain me and educate me for free and not sell out and get sponsors. Also, don't put mid-roll ads. I did it myself and a friend who's in this room at the moment did a test with mid-roll ads, trying to work, and you make a lot more money, right? You make a shit ton more, and I'm all dusty. Look at that man boobs jiggle. You make a lot more money from doing the mid-roll ads, but unfortunately, I think as soon as the mid-roll ad stops, you got more and more people bug out of the video at that point. So I actually went through and stopped all the mid-roll ads again. It would have been nice to add about 100% more to my YouTube income. Also, what I've been playing with is this HBPowerwall tablet, and as soon as I go to turn it on camera, it's gone flat again, which is a downside to such a economically priced tablet. I might plug that in and charge it, but it actually does the Batrium pretty good, and it does with the USB, your little USB adapters. You can plug in a webcam, you can plug in a microphone, you can plug in anything USB. I actually changed, what do you call it? Changed all my settings on my PCM60X the other day with it. So it just plugs straight in and away it goes. And it works well. So San Diego, bedtime now, DIY tech and repairs, welcome, thank you, and see you later. How is the Mini coming along? Hope you're keeping it electric. The Mini has, okay, so the Mini, I think I go through this every single live feed. I absolutely want to do the Mini, but life, work, and current commitments with videos, I have to get all those done first. And once I get the review on this tablet done, upgrade my Watchmon to the MM8 and the Watchmon 5, which is very high on the priority list, and this video behind me that's been going for literally months, once I got those three commitments over and done with, I've also got the community spot welder has been upgraded with the K-cap, so I've got to do a video on that. Once those videos are done, and that's going to probably take me another month or two, it's all systems go on the Mini. I am just going to go, do whatever I can to make it happen as fast as I can, because my private cars are both failing. They're almost 20 years old, so I've got to go and look at another car today. I've been looking at cars for months and months and months, trying to find one that I like. And I think I found one. The price is quite high. So we've got to go and see the accounts department whether that's going to happen or not. But it's a nice car, but it will eat into the Mini budget a little bit. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll take you for a drive if I get the new car. It's a Mini, but it's a newer Mini. But it's not electric. I wish I could afford 60 grand for an electric car, but I don't earn that in 2 years on YouTube, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years on YouTube, so that's not happening. Shachwashikan, I can't even pronounce that, I'll just pretend like I can. Poland, Panama City, Sweden of course, UK, Sheffield, Puerto Rico. Has anyone heard when nickel self-fusing is back in stock? No, but I really, really hope it comes back in stock really soon. as that is one reason that video isn't finished yet, because I'm waiting on nickel strip to be released so I can affiliate link it and hopefully get a little bit more from that. Lithium solar, you can't paint containers either in the rain. Rowan, yep, it's where's Rowan? Oh, Rowan's in here. You just got here, Daniel. It's midnight. First time from Seattle. Welcome, Brian. Check your PayPal, man. I sent you a little something for your help. I will check it after the live feed, buddy. Daniel, I would have passed out by now. Oh, yeah, I'm an early bird too. I'm in bed by 8:30 every night. I have premium, so no ads. That's fine. I actually understand the whole ads thing. We've been through that. Can lithium ion be charged and discharged at the same time from solar and discharge the batteries? It seems that either in charge or discharge mode. Well, technically they could. If you had 2 or 3 different charge controllers and 3 charge controllers were charging, technically it's either on or off, in or out. But it depends where your charge controllers are located, I guess, on that string of wires, because it's gonna take electricity is going to take the path of least resistance. It's not going to take out of the battery. When it's got solar, it can just go straight in at the right voltage, so it makes sense, and it's more resistance going into batteries. That's how I think it works. I just made that up then. It might not be right. It probably isn't. Somebody can type in the comment section below. Where am I up to? Andy Lee, I saw one of your Twitter posts about 40 days in hospital. That's madness. I don't Twitter very much. I just peruse it every now and again. Back home now and in quarantine was traumatic. That's terrible. Reach out to me, Andy. I wouldn't mind having a chat to you and find out how bad it is, because over here in Australia we haven't had it that bad, and we sort of refer it to as that shit COVID thing, or oh crap, that crap that's happening, or something like that. And perhaps I think I need to understand it a little bit more. Maybe a personal perspective will help that. Holy crap, glad you are still around. Of course I'm still around. Hi from Germany. I am looking at 48 volt hybrid inverter. Where can I control charge power for battery and power which goes into the grid? Plan is to use a battery in the same way when the sun has set. You could use a PIP. PIP will do that happily. It'll just run 24 hours a day. Hope if you've got enough solar panels, it doesn't matter, as long as you can charge the batteries, or you can manually change it backwards and forwards. Or Daniel from DIY Tech and Repairs has a Grafana solution, I think, to actually change on or off grid. I think there's also a couple of little programs out there that you can purchase that will run the PIP inverters on a timer, so it'll actually turn them grid backwards and forwards automatically. DIY, oh, thank you very much, Wayne, and DIY Tech and Repairs. One up. So I think with the PIP software, what is it called? That is not it. This one, where is it? You can see it, but I can't even control the mouse on it. Watch power configuration. Watch power configuration would be fantastic if they had I don't even know whether that's going to be in the road or not. If they had a setting here, you got SPU, utility, or solar. Now what solar does is, when the sun comes up in the morning and the solar panels get power, it turns on the inverter and then turns it off at night time. It'd be good if they had that 180'd, so when the sun come up, it turned the PIP inverters off, so you could run off the grid or off a different solar system. Like in my case, I've got a bigger solar system, and then back on in the morning. That would be a neat upgrade. Whoever makes watch power software, it'd be good. Please do it. I've asked for years. Rightio, back to the chat. Hey, the system works. The chat's actually still up there. Where are we? That was one very nice looking car. It's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, Mike, it is that car. I've just got to get time to go to, I've only got, what? I got 1, 2, 3, I got 2 computers and 1 PlayStation so far. And I have my audio is still working, right? But I've got, I don't know if it's a complaint, I'm gobsmacked, scared, or I now feel like a hooker. But there is absolutely no need to put that much money into my account. But thank you. My wife will enjoy it. So anybody that's donated money on the screen, this just kicked his out of the park. Just so you know, it's not $1 million, but it's 100. Thank you. But I was checking my phone for something else and now I can't remember. That's right, I was looking at other jobs and I've got no other jobs booked in. I'm done. What am I supposed to do now? I'm completely... Oh, dude, you really don't have to, eh? There's no need for it. I would have been happy with a $5. I purchased 21 100p packs worth back when it came out. It would be a hot commodity of nickel strips. Unfortunately, battery hookup fused nickel strip may have to call to receive. I won't release this video publicly until the nickel strip gets released. So I'll see if I can reach out to battery hookup and see if I can get a sneaky surprise of when it's going to be released. Do you have a discount coupon for Batrium? No, we've been through this. Batrium doesn't give any discounts, doesn't charge extra to pay me money. I've never got a cent of money from Batrium. I've never received a commission, a retainer. I've received a handful of free products, but never been paid a single cent for anything. So just head on over there and know that you're not paying a artificially inflated price. Following your work, take care, brother, and keep going. Thanks, Robert. Pip won't send to the grid. Hybrid, there we go, yeah, MPI. Thank you very much for clearing that up. Daniel, I thought you were going to bed. Rowan, there hasn't been any clothes. It's worth every cent. Pete, my take-home point is that it damned serious and avoid getting it at all costs. How old, Andy? If you don't mind me asking, how old were you? And anyway, I'll reach out to you later. I'll find you on Twitter or something. I'll probably Skype you or Facebook you or something. Thanks. I will check. Pip, keep up the great work. Please wear protective shoes when working on the Mini. Bugger off! I can't be doing that. I really need to start working on that Mini, and I really need help working on that Mini. I'm not even gonna pretend that I don't need help, because I really do. I had someone reach out to me about painting it. I don't know if I'm going to do that yet, but there's lots of things. Brake lines, I've had heaps of help with brake lines, so I know what to do and make better brakes. Yeah. So I don't know everything, but there was a post pictured on Instagram with somebody else that did a different electric motor setup, and because I haven't set in stone my my goals for the motor yet, this other motor that I saw on Instagram was awesome. It was actually on the end of it rather than on the top, giving heaps more room in the engine bay, and I really like that idea, and it didn't look like there was any modifications. I haven't read through the whole thread yet. I think it's about 15 or 16 pages. Solar Patrol, do automated on and off at sunset, sunrise. Yes, Solar Patrol unfortunately is unreliable as it'll get out. It sometimes works and sometimes crashes and sometimes leaves it in grid mode all night long. I used to use Solar Patrol to turn off my PIP like in between 10 and 2 during the day, just so I got some little bit more charge in my batteries. But I think in the last probably 2 weeks, I've added another 4 kilowatt of panels to my off-grid side, and it's helping get my batteries charged all the way up. I wish I could show you the graph that I can see, but it's really cool. I can see that the state of charge goes all the way up to 100% every day for the last I think give or take 7 days, even though I've had some fairly average weather, which is helping my batteries get up into balance, because I'm going to have to balance them all properly before I hook all the new battery management system up. Thanks, Ron. I figured they were handy. I would send 100 if I wasn't spending 5k on the Subaru. You'd get in more trouble, brother, and I wouldn't expect it anyway. You can use a program called YouTube Advanced to get rid of all the ads and have a better YouTube experience. Yeah, the problem with that bio is we don't work for free. And although YouTube makes a big chunk of the money, we don't work for free. I'm a hooker. Hookers lie down, get fucked, and then get paid. So it's your choice, but I'd prefer to get paid than not. Did Elon Musk help with electricity there? I think he did somewhere, but not me personally. 56, Andy. Okay, so you got 10 years on me, brother. 12. We're going to work this out accurately at this age. When I use central heating timer on my PIP, it feeds 38 volt from a step-up buck converter into the non-used solar input to switch in between modes. When I central heating or a buck converter into the non-used solar input to switch between modes. I don't know, understand what that is, but that sounds very cool. If you've got a video on it, private message me it. Hello from North Carolina. Is it me or is the stream frozen? I hope it is not frozen. YouTube channel Damien Maguire. You should check out his channel. His hack Telsa motor which fit perfectly in the mini subframe. The problem is I can't weld. I don't own a air compressor. Any tools? I'm not kidding you. I didn't have a tool. I bought the car and then realised I didn't have enough tools to do anything. I didn't even know where my 10mm was. I've had to go and buy every single tool I've needed to work on the Mini. I've got a 15 or 20-year-old jack that only jacks up about 4 inches. 4 inches. And I've got to keep putting bricks underneath it and then chock it to get it high enough off the ground to do stuff. So I've got to buy a new jack. I've got to buy an engine lift, an engine hoist. There's a few things. Yeah, I bought this. I wasn't going to buy this Mini, but I was looking for a Mini, but I wasn't prepared to actually drop $4,000 on one until I actually saw this one. I might bug you later. You can bug me all you like for that price, brother. I want to put them up this weekend. I think it might be a little better now. I've had no drama with it since it was licensed. I bought the licensed one as well, and it's no better. Oh, I didn't buy the licensed one, you got it for free. Don't forget to give thumbs up. Absolutely, one of them, or one of them if you hate me. Hey Peter, I'm currently working on my second 2 kWh pack. Awesome, Joshua. How'd your first one go? How long did it take you? Going on 25. That's the way I feel. My body doesn't, my brain does. My eyes feel like they're going on 60. They get really fuzzy lately. I've got to go and see an optometrist. I'm considering a PIP, but the standby power draw puts me off. Anyone know exactly what's causing the high power draw? Fans? No, it's just a cheap inverter. You can't buy a cheap car and expect it to use less power, less fuel than an expensive car, because an expensive car obviously goes faster. Well, I guess that's a bad analogy, but it's a good analogy because I said it. Yeah, PIPs just use a lot of power. There's no accounting for it. They're just inefficient. I think mine would use in excess of 2.5 kWh a day, if not more, in a 24-hour period. But I promise you, even at that rate, I reckon the combination of running my new GrowWatt 2 kilowatt AC coupled inverter with my SMA TL5000 inverter, I think, I can't prove it, but I think that uses over 100 watts to keep those two devices turned on and operating all night. I know I base that on, it's putting out 250 watts into the inverter, but because my hot water system diverts the power and doesn't send anything back to the grid, only about 80 to 100 watts is actually going into the hot water system. So there could also be efficiencies within my hot water system diverter, which I can almost guarantee you because it gets bloody hot. But yeah, so it's a relative thing. I mean, efficiency goes with price. If you get a $10,000 inverter, you get what, 98% efficiency. If you get a $1,000 inverter, you get 95%. I think pips are probably around 90% efficient. So we get what we pay for. But a couple of solar panels, you know, gets around that pretty quick. I love my 30 kilowatt hour battery and 2 kilowatt of solar. Thanks for all your helping, by the way. You get away with a 30 kilowatt hour with 2 kilowatt of solar? Holy shit, I've got 74 panels producing electricity on my house right now, and I still draw from the grid. How crazy is that? 74 solar panels. Now, they're not all north facing. In fact, 15, probably only 30 of those are north facing. Some are south facing. Some are west and east facing, so that nothing is ideal. I have an engine hoist in South Carolina, US. I'll give you, just pick it up. You're a champion, brother. I went and got a Batrim because of your videos. Going to start watching, switching out my AGM bank for some future AGM cells. That's awesome. Talk later, mate. Got to get some work done. Have an awesome day. Thank you very much. My first kilowatt power took me about a year to build, slow and steady, and it's been running for 2 years now. That's awesome. I've had some guy in the past couple of days having an argument with me about soldering packs. And he sounds like another one of these guys that did lots of reading but no practical research himself, and obviously doesn't own a Powerwall or even probably a torch with an 18650 cell in it. But he's arguing that all my cells are going to catch fire and burn everything down because I soldered them. And I said to him, well, look, I'm 4 years into a test. I'm 4 years into a real test. And then he says, oh, how many cycles do you do a day? And if it's not real if you're only doing a 20% cycle. And then, you know, I stopped arguing with him because you can't argue with that. But look, first of all, these cells are dangerous. Yes, they can catch fire. Yes, I have replaced out maybe 10 individual 18650 cells and a whole heap of packs, but the packs were replaced because of my bad planning, or, you know, in the early days. And then he keeps bringing up all these other arguments, and it's just driving me crazy. But yeah, I think as a community, thank you very much for helping and grow this and make it smarter and better and safer. So a 2 kilowatt hour pack, a year to build, slow and steady. Good on you, dude. Well done. Can you recommend a grid tie inverter that doesn't need utility approved and is safe? Whereabouts do you live? That's the problem. Utility approved in Australia, you can go to, what is it, CEC website, and they list all the approved inverters and grid tied and not grid tied. And of course you can do anything you want with off-grid. It's legal to do the off-grid stuff. In Australia, I think it's, the old rules were 120 volts, I think. I don't know if that's changed. So 120 volts, but the kicker is it can't be connected to the grid. It's got to be off-grid. But then you get problems with insurance. You might have no problems with the legal side of creating your own electricity, but then you've got to work out your insurance and stuff like that if you have any. So that is something to consider with that. Can you recommend a grid tie? If you taught yourself to build a Powerwall, will you teach yourself to weld? You go, I can weld. Don't you? I can weld. It may look like a chicken scratching around the garden, but I've done lots of welding, 20 years ago, until I got was grinding off, and I had glasses on, and I still had the welding shield on, bounced off my chest and up into my eye, and they had to dig out the chunk of metal that burnt into my eye with a needle, and I haven't touched a welder since then. Pretty scary stuff. Okay, my phone is just going nuts. My phone is really going nuts. Can you recommend a grid tie inverter that doesn't need an approval? You taught yourself to build a Powerwall. Thanks for it. My Fronius grid tie wastes about 35 watts. That's pretty good. I am currently looking at changing my grid tied setup. My grid tied setup is 7 years old now. I've just realised it's 2 years out of warranty, so I can start playing with it, messing with it, and probably putting a new inverter in at some point. Fear. I hate fear-mongering type people. We need to be safe, but that is logical fear-mongering. I agree. It is definitely... I don't even know if it's fear-mongering or just uneducated. I think it might be more uneducated than anything else. Or incorrectly educated. You can't see reason with people. This exactly. Cool. Can it switch between PV and battery in the grid? It can. But it does it automatically. Even I worked out my grow watt inverter, the little 2 kilowatt thing. Now the only drawback is it takes a couple of minutes to ramp back up. So if I'm running a dryer, so it's at 2000 watts, it'll ramp up to 2000 watts, and then the dryer will turn off to change like it's going one way, and that turns off and turns the heating element off, and then turns back the other way, and then turns the heating element back on. So every couple of minutes it does that. So it takes a couple of minutes to rise up to 2000 watts from, whatever the base load is. Then it turns back off again, and then it's got to rise back up again slowly. So you might be using 2000 watts, but you still average like 1000 watts from the grid, but it does reduce it. But what I did find the other day watching it, now I didn't read any manuals or anything like that. Well, I actually wrote a lot of manuals on how to set it up, but not how to use it. It will, if it's charging the batteries during the day, because it takes half of my grid tied system away and charges my batteries, and it can put another 2000 watts into my batteries, which is awesome. But as soon as the house load goes up and it starts drawing from the grid, it automatically turns the charger off instantly and puts that power directly into the grid tie inverter. So so it doesn't draw any power from the grid at all. So that's kind of cool and neat. I like how that works, and it made me feel a bit better about putting a permanent install. The only thing is, I don't know how to do the permanent install for that, because I don't really have room down there and it looks like a mess. I kind of considering putting it up in here and then putting a really long CT clamp cable, really long cable for the CT clamp all the way down there. I think that probably might be one of these little 5-minute videos. Can you run a 50-meter CT clamp or not and still use it in a reasonable fashion? I know there's going to be losses, but it would be kind of cool if I could run that 2 kilowatt inverter, or even a land run if I can get that running, up here, and then put the new battery up here rather than running all those old cells. So that's something I might do in the future as well, and certainly something I'm keen to actually find out. Matthew, I have a SoFoller, cheap and bloody brilliant, really quick switching between charger and discharge. I had a grow watt and it's mega slow. I think the reason it's slow is because of the Australian regulations. You can't just dump the power back onto the grid, so it's got to ramp up slowly. Hence, I haven't seen an inverter just get 2000 watts of power into it and then output 2000 watts of power. I think it's so a big cloud edge effect doesn't come over an entire suburb, and then just whack the grid with a whole heap of power. I think that's the reason. I think somebody explained that to me the other day. What's that? Grid tie inverter, expensive, but it is a quality unit. Maybe new shed time. I still should do the shipping container, but money has got to go towards that mini. I've been seeing some grid tie inverters, new technology that stop energy going back to the grid through a smart system. Have you heard of these? Yeah, that's practically what I've got. It's just a CT clamp, so a current metering clamp on the outgoing power. And yes, you can extend it like 100 meters. That's awesome. My wife is calling me for some reason. I have absolutely no reason why she's yelling at me from inside the house at the moment. I might... Oh, I got that running in the background. That's terrible. I hope you don't mind me running in. I've got to keep this girl happy at all cost. Have a chat amongst yourselves. I'll be back in a minute. Where's my chat? Pete, I made it. The Kilowatt channel. Hey, Darren. I've got to go inside for a minute. Give me a second. I will be back. No BOOBS because I'll get demonetized. So put something something along the lines of moobs or something like that as many times as you possibly can. Your time starts now. Right, I'll be back. Well, I worked out what the screaming was about. My grandson arrived. Hello. You're very quiet. Are you tired? Have you had a long, did you have a good sleep last night? He's more interested in looking at absolutely everything else. What's wrong? He just looks at everything when he's out here. He loves being out here, don't you? Or do you want to go and see Mum? Where's Nan? Do you want to go back inside? Do you want Poppy to carry? Where's your shoes? You've got gloves on. You've got gloves. Does that keep you warmer? Say bye. You look up there and say bye. This can be the thumbnail. Little man visits. Second. Honey, I'm trying to do a live stream. He's awesome. He's the best kid, and he's so intelligent, but he's very quiet. He's usually very noisy. Do you want to go back inside now? Okay, uppies. Say bye, everyone. Bye. What about blow kisses? You're awesome. You're so awesome. Where's Mummy? There's Mummy inside. Mummy's inside. Right, yeah, I'm back. Here's the kicker. I'd rather be looking after that kid than a live feed. I'm sorry to do it to you guys. Right out, where am I up to? Holy shitballs. Hi mate, just a little support. Thank you for the $5, buddy. Thank you very much, my friend. You're in trouble too. What did you do? Moves. The sound problem is fixed, not good when you get called out from the man cave. This is as much work as it is man cave. Several houses. Create lumpy jumpers. Oh, I like that. Just shower must have been cold. No, my grandson arrived. Screws and all I see is a stupid autocorrect moves the head. Well done. You guys win. Sweet little person. Mine grabs everything. Archer, he's such a good kid, and he's so smart. He's 2 years old, and you can have a full conversation with him, but obviously not now because he's very quiet. Now we know why no nickel fuse left, Pete. Pete has, yeah, that's nickel fuse there, but that's only 100 meters of it. Or 100 feet. I don't know, 100 meters or 100 feet, one of the two. Hi Darren, gotta go. Great to catch up live stream. Catch you later. Oh, by the way, great YouTube channel. Thank you very much, Ellen. Dave, do you guys check out SoFar M? Do you check SoFar M? AC charge control. I haven't seen that one. Okay, bye. Gotta go. It's a little bit late. Pete, do you still have the bomb? I do. I do. The bomb and and it's stuck to paper. I do have the bomb, and it's all falling apart. I should send this back so you can do a video of it. And the battery's flat. I still have the bomb. It is not a bomb. Facebook, YouTube, and whoever this is streaming to, this is just a joke based on some of the community stuff. I better explain that because otherwise I'll get demonetized and my channel will be removed. It is not a BOOMB. It is simply fake. Nothing's hooked up. Nothing's hooked up. It's just 18650 batteries with a little LED screen. I really need to make that clear. I think people have lost their channel for less than that. I thought he said bong. Please don't demonetize me. Did it again from notifications. Hi Darren, awesome. Anyone with a PIP had issues with flickery lights? No, I haven't. Chris, my PIPs are 4 years old, 3 or 4 years old. Talking about PIPs now that the restrictions are over, I've got to go and hook up that very first PIP I ever got, the 24 volt PCM60X. No, what is it? PIP 2424HS inverter. I've got to put some new fans in it and then go and run my buddy's little second shed. We're going to put some 12 volt lighting, 24 volt light, no. Yeah, 24 volt lighting in, LEDs and stuff through the shed. And then have enough power there to hopefully charge some car batteries and stuff via 240 volt. So Darren there, glasses, greetings from Turkey, typically Sanyo. I am making a solar panel production video. I recommend you to check out my channel. Yeah, it's probably not the right place to sort of advertise your production video. If it was a normal YouTube video, I'd approve it. I don't know. I'll let my other moderators decide whether that one goes through or not, Aaron or Aram. I can't, typical Sanyo, can't even get that right. Hi Pete, DIY Projects, welcome. What are the pros of running 24 volt over 12? Less amps, runs cooler, cheaper cabling. And you often get a higher output of the inverter. Keith around here. Keith is probably asleep. Hey HB, Dan the Dane, welcome. Where's all my chat? I've got 70 people. Oh, I had 70 people in the room. I probably lost a bunch. I did, look at that. Oh no. I lost a bunch of people walking away from my computer screen. Oh, yous all hate me. That's what I was going to show you. I got this working. So that's the Growwatt SP200. And I assure you, this took actually a lot to get going. And there's one thing I still don't know. There's still a password for me to go into settings here Settings. No, that's not settings. You scroll down. Go settings here. And there's still a password. So if I want to set the storage to on or off, I go yes, and it says wrong key. But if I put the key in there, you say min, and then you change it to the current date, so 8, it goes yes. It says successful, but doesn't actually change any settings in here. And if I do it on my phone, that password won't work at all. So I've still got a little bit left to work out with that. But you can sort of see that 200 watts is the base load at night time, because this inverter, I think, just puts out 200 watts. Either puts out 200 watts, nothing, or more than 200 watts. And then when the sun comes up in the morning, so that is at 6:05 in the morning, it shuts down and stops generating power, and then turns around and then uses the power from the solar panels again. So the green line is the discharge, or the solar production from the inverter. The blue line is the load, and then power consumption. I don't know what the power consumption is. Grid power consume, who knows? But anyways, that's what that is. I still have a little bit more to learn with that. And that was yesterday, so what's that, about 6 in the morning? Yeah, that was 6 in the morning, it shut down, the blue line disappeared, and then when the red kicked in, that was, I think that was when it might have been charging? Storage production, maybe green is storage. Yeah, green is storage there, so... I can't tell. It's hard to, and again, I'm having trouble reading that small screen, but it's still pretty neat to see the graphs and stuff. I just wish I honestly do wish I had one repository, and I know there's a couple of solutions out there, I just don't have time to implement it, with all of my solar stuff, so I get a single line that says everything all in one, because I got the grid tie, I got the SP2000, this one, SP2000, and then I got 2 pips, and then I've got 2 PCM60Xs, and then whatever this one uses, and 2 Batriums. So it'd be good to coagulate all of that data into a single source, but that's a lot of data and a lot of cables and a lot of interfacing to get right. So I don't think that is ever going to happen. However, it would be nice. Where are we up to? I got the 24 MPS not long after you got yours. That's a good couple of years. Pete, the car. What's the latest? It is still sitting there unchanged from the last video, Darren. I said this earlier in the live feed. I'm going to finish all my commitments with videos for like Powerwall stuff, and then I'm going to stop doing Powerwall stuff. And so I have free time again, because at the moment I simply don't have free time. And then just go full on the car until it's done. I'll just break myself. I don't know what I'll do, but I'm just gonna do whatever I can to get that car finished and try and film as much as I can. We don't hate you. That's nice. Steel heater. It's the moves that scared people away. It's possible. I honestly think new people come in and like, look, I reckon probably half of you chatting at the moment are like long time subscribers, and possibly people that I talk to on the phone and whatever else. So they probably don't get where that comes from, or how long ago that's been a joke. So yeah, it might have scared them away. Hi Peter, how is everything in the troubled times? Hope everything is okay. Nice channel. Everything's fine here. I do well in adversity because I fix things, so that is typically just a reason for me to triple my income. And in fact, it's probably gone up 500% on like post COVID-19. So yeah, I'm sitting pretty, but I'm working my ass to the ground 15, 16 hours a day most days. Can be out here at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, go to sleep at maybe 9 o'clock at night. Maybe later, it depends on how much work I've got. So yeah, I'm super busy. I wish I had more time to do some videos, or at least get the videos that I've got in production finished. Got to go. See you. Thanks very much for tuning in. I've got some 48 volt 2.5 kilowatt hour motorbike packs which are 13S 15P, and I could use them with my own BMS, like Batrium DIY BMS. Should I tear it down and rebuild it from scratch? It's up to you. It's up to you whether that power range or that voltage range suits your setup. 13S is, you know, that'll work. But if you're going to pull it down, I'd only pull it down if there's a problem with the battery. Maybe you could use something like an Opus, like a iCharger X6, or X8, or even the IDST unit, and discharge each one and check them all out. Check each one out, make sure it's all balanced. Raspberry Pi MQTT. The problem is I don't know databases and I don't know what to do with it. I know MQTT is out there. I know lots of stuff has it. Lots of my stuff doesn't. So I would need some. I've got a Raspberry Pi. I bought it for Daniel's DIY Tech and Repairs thing. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere here. But I do have a Raspberry Pi. I don't know how to set it up and configure it. I saw your battery made for a trolling boat. It was from the laptop batteries. Yes, that is the trolling motor battery. That is probably one of the biggest, highest earning. No, it's not highest earning. It's highest video that I got. It gets about 1,000 views a day, that one. And everyone hates the music. I can't even imagine what it would have been like if I had done a better job on the music on that video. And I have thought of redoing that video just so, but it'll never go the same again. I think I had a conversation with Jehu a long time ago. He had one video that was doing amazing, and my batteries just clicked over. Well, the grid tie just clicked over to charging the batteries. It's doing 47 watts into the batteries now. So that is actually starting to charge. You can see that just here, 47 watts. I don't know why it says 398 watts here, but it might be because I don't have the proper CT clamp. I have a CT clamp that's close, but it's not a grow watt CT clamp. If anybody's got a grow watt CT clamp or a temperature sensor laying around, I would love to buy it off you, and I'd buy it off you right now if given the chance. I have reached out to Grow Watt, they haven't replied, which really shits me to tears, because I also want an SP200 firmware update, because I've got generation 1 firmware, and the next ones are a little bit more reliable. So that I'd be keen to get that if anybody knew where I could get that from without having to go through Grow Watt, obviously. Where are we? Chat is back. Trolling mode, fresh shaved that. Yeah, I did actually. I like the beard, but wife didn't. It's so much easier just getting the clippers out and just going and done. It's so much better than shaving. You need more. We need more people to do Raspberry Pi Home Assist Batrium UDP listener. There is only one person who has done it via VUS. Batrium hasn't been working well at all. CAN bus via Batrium hasn't been working at all. CAN bus should be well and truly sorted now. They sorted all that out a year ago. It might not be working well for you, but for everybody that I've talked to, with all the cars and charging and all that sort of stuff, it's on point. But that said, I haven't used CAN bus, so put my hands up in the air and say, no, I haven't done anything with that yet. I've only blown it up once. Ask the community to help build a single monitoring system. Enough of us web guys, programmers here to do it. I don't disagree, but I'm very, like, I know how much time it takes to build these things, and it's an exponential amount of time, and everyone expects them for free. And although some people can do them for free, I can't work for free. There's lots of people that I know who can't work for free, and there's lots of people that I know that do work for free shouldn't work for free. So I don't know how you'd monetize that or make it into a project that was self-funding or a way of collaborating, because I don't understand any of it, so I couldn't be in charge of it. If someone else wanted to do that, I'd be happy to take part of it. but only in an advertising or community awareness standpoint. I'd offer up everything I've got in order to help that become a reality, as long as it wasn't too labour intensive on my time, or time intensive, I guess you'd say. Junior here from Jamaica. What do you think of LG Chem N2 3.6 volt? I haven't even looked at them, mate. I've only used 18650s, and then I had one of the community members send me some 21700s. That's all I've used. I haven't used of anything else, so I'll reserve judgment on something I haven't touched. I made a battery for my 36 volt 1000 watt e-scooter from laptop batteries, waiting for it to have balance trouble. How well did you build it though? Did you put some thought and time and effort into building it? If you did, I don't think you'll have a problem. Any more snakes in your garden? No, not at the moment. The snakes will be starting to go into hibernation now. It's a bit cooler. I've had more in my shed than I've had in my garden. Well, I've seen 2 in my garden. A whip snake, like a common tree snake, non-venomous. Well, at least it hasn't got a mouth or fangs or venom enough to hurt you too badly. Eastern brown, the world's second most venomous snake in my backyard. That was fun, but you know, I grew up with them in my backyard when I was a kid, you know, every day, so I'm not too concerned about that. But we've had about 5 or 6 what do you call it, carpet snakes in here. Carpet snakes, you just pick them up and you move them. They're protected species, but as long as you don't hurt them. I blew my 2424 up also about 9 months in. Was very good replacement time frame though. Awesome. Pete, ever used Boston Power swing cells? No, I haven't. Laptop batteries or EV is okay. Laptop batteries for EV, I'm going to have to say no. Please don't do it. Somebody did it back in the day on a, what was it? An MG. Used all recycled batteries, didn't test any of them, just did voltage. And I did that Cell 5 video based on that video. I don't think I've ever released that information. Good on you, Pete, for talking without thinking. Yeah, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth, and it's a bad idea. I don't think there is enough time in the world to build a recycled 18650 laptop cells into an electric car cost effectively, time effectively, or even sensibly. They're not high drain. They're not that energy, well, they are energy dense, but they're not like 3,400 milliamp hour cells. They're like 2,500. And they're used cells. I mean, at least give yourself, if you're spending that much on a motor and controller, and then the original car, you know, spend that again and buy batteries that'll last you 10 years. If you only expect them to last 2 years and you're not taking it on the road and racing it, it might work, but I don't think it's a valuable use of time. Pete, do you still use Solar Patroller? Updated a while ago, added support to monitor the PIP and PCM60X. I haven't. Maybe I should revisit Solar Patrol. That shows it's feeding both battery and the housemate. That's this one. No, it's not. I could go on. Which one is it? That one. That one. I bet you it's only doing that much into the battery, and it's doing nothing from the solar. That is west facing. Actually, I can show you. If I go back to that one, pull up a screen, get rid of that, full screen, there we go. If I go to my Sunny Explorer, so that's only doing 345 watts. So if you look, of course that's full screen. So you look there, that's doing 14 watts into the battery, and that's saying some stupid amount, but that is east facing, so that's setting sun, and it's the morning here at the moment. Instantaneous values, go to the DC side, and power is only 166 watts. So it's saying it's putting 116 watts into the grid tie inverter, but in reality, oh, there we go, it's doing 176 watts, so it's just jumped up. So this number here is wrong. That's not even close to being right. There's not 500 watts. There's, you know, there's 200 watts or something. So there is still something definitely wrong with that, but it doesn't matter. It's still charging the batteries, and to be honest, I'm happy with that. Pete, do you still use Solar Patrol? Today I'm gonna have a look at Solar Patrol in my spare time. Thanks for answering. Battery, how many watts does it draw? Does it account for how many watts does it draw? I'm not sure what that question is relating to. This is a Solar Patroller, however, he doesn't have the need to switch backwards and forwards regularly. No, I don't switch backwards and forwards at all. I try and use my pips 24/7. Yeah, YouTube sent me a notification when streaming. It was 42 minutes. I had an issue with the old one, but since updated, it's been great. Awesome. Yeah, mine is no trouble these days. I use it similar drummers to Pete. I brought more than 10 Chinese BMS and failed. Now, I think we've got to get away from the word Chinese BMS. I get it. I've said it a million times myself. But China make some good battery management systems, right? China make good televisions, good computers. Manufacturing in general in China is fantastic. What we need to change our wording a little bit, I think, in this today's environment, and say the shit BMSs, the cheap BMSs, the poor quality BMSs, the under-engineered BMSs, the BMSs that are knockoffs. That is a more better word than Chinesium or Chinese BMSs or products in general. I don't disagree, because I personally think a lot of them come out of China, but there's a lot of good stuff too. So I think we need to change our thinking on that. And I have been actively trying to change my thinking and not publicly say it, even though I still probably think it a lot. You know how it is. Please tell me which BMS is really good for 3 and 4S. The Dali BMS, if you look at DIY Tech and Repair, no, not DIY, Lithium Solar on Facebook, Mike, he's done a few videos on them and has showed some good results for cheaper, smaller batteries. They don't work for bigger ones, but certainly for the smaller things, they're a cost-effective solution, they seem, at this point. And my throat is killing me. I should have grabbed a drink when I was inside. Any chance you show where to get those 1850s? I've been gathering for a year. Got 60. Whereabouts do you live? Living is the most important thing. One of the key places everyone is going is battery hookup, and if you use my Powerwall's discount code, I make 10% of the sale. Some people make more, some people make less, I believe, but I make 10% on the sale price, so that helps me a lot. It helps me an awful lot, actually. But I get mine from a local recycler. I've only got one person left getting me batteries. And they have a big recycling centre. They need a lot of computers reloaded, and the hard drives secure wiped, so I use D-band to wipe all the hard drives, and I do multiple passes of D-band, so it's extremely secure, as well as Macs and stuff I do as well. And basically I just refurbish them, I pull them apart, I clean them all out, I run a memory test, I run a hard drive test, I D-band the hard drives, I dust, I put new thermal paste on, and I put them back together again, and then they sell them off. I do it that way because there's so many people out there that actually say they sell refurbished computers, and all that they do is get a can of air, blow the dust out, and reload Windows 10, and that's all they do, and I think that's bullshit. I think they are lying through the arse of their pants saying it's a refurbished computer. It's a dusted computer and reloaded, that's all it is. So I think the advertising around that really sucks. But I do that, and then as payment I receive cells. So I usually do probably 10 computers a week, and I've got it set up here, so it takes, to do 10 computers, D-band, takes about 8 hours for a 500 gig hard drive, and then it goes doubles, triples, depending on the size of the hard drive, and then I can get 10 Windows 10 computers reloaded in about an hour and a half for all 10 of them. So it doesn't take me that long to knock them all through, labour-wise. Switched over to energy plan in between 2 p.m. grid charges free, or occasionally I get paid, so I need the timer function. Oh, that's cool. I think that's not in Australia. Chris is overseas, yeah. Did Jehu use laptop batteries in original Samba battery? Jehu never put DIY batteries into his Samba. He thought about it, but never actually had it running. And even Jehu used to have a joke. He doesn't finish a project back in the day. So he never put 18650 batteries and run them full time in his car ever. He might have done it for a test or a video, but they weren't in there long term. But I do believe they were all laptop batteries, yes. Did you go to any the thing with EVs is use EV batteries are so cheap and plentiful, and it makes more sense to use EV batteries. Look, lithium solar, that is absolutely true. And not only that, in Australia, when you make an electric vehicle, those batteries have to be mechanically strong. Now, I can pick one of these batteries up and I can physically twist it. And there's enough movement in that battery to move it around and shake it around. The fuses that we use would just destroy themselves after weeks, months or years, just with the vibrations. They'd just break all the fuses off, cause a unbalanced battery, and it'd just fall over really quick. Now, maintaining it, you'd need what? A 144 volt battery, which is a lot of 18650s. You'd need like 300p packs. You're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of cells to do that right. And you get an EV battery and a Tesla battery, and it doesn't move. You could drop it on its corner, and there's no physical movement within the pack, so it's mechanically strong. It's built. And then when we have to get the cars approved in Australia, the battery housing has to meet minimum specifications for side and frontal impact G-forces or something. I don't understand it. So to get a DIY battery to be that strong would be difficult at best, right? So yeah. Did a second power bank. His main back was LiFo 4 Winston cells. Okay, if only MPP Solar would add a timer function to the watch power software. I think they did try that at some stage, but there was a reason why they didn't. Maybe because of the relays tripping on and off might actually shorten their life. That's the only thing I could think of why they wouldn't do it. Lithium solar, is it possible to do? Generic BMS, unbranded BMS works, absolutely. BIO project isn't Pete, isn't that number of combined power A going into the battery? Is that the other value on it, right? Sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. Twin Tams for the win, absolutely. I used DALI on the generator build, back build. Generic BMS, I definitely didn't want to recommend the generic BMS. Very inaccurate. DALI seems great. There we go. Pete, if you're going to play with Patrol, the only issue it's had with the USB cable, it used to cause it freezes a lot of connections, which didn't occur the normal software. Wayne, can you send me a link to the actual cable that you bought, and I'll buy another cable, because I've used the same cables for years, and they're starting to fail, so I wouldn't mind upgrading all of those. Once I catch up with the chat, if you want me to stay here, keep chatting, otherwise I'm going to bail because my throat's getting sore and I'm going to have to open soon. Yep, I checked it. It's a wattage going to the batteries towards the home load. Home load. Chris, regarding my PIP, no idea. It was grid tie mode and then just went boom. They died under warranty and were easy to deal with. No dramas since replaced. Awesome, glad mate. Mini build's going along. I'll do another dedicated video on the Mini in the next couple of weeks. Chris, just a quick look. I'm using Solar Patrol 64 version 3.2. Built-in web server works well too. Awesome. Thank you very much, Chris, for letting me know. Pete, serious question. Can you recommend a good soldering iron for soldering onto twisted cable bus bars? I'm struggling to solder into 3 cables. I think you could buy the cheapest soldering iron at like 50. Well, I use the 60-watt soldering iron. You could literally buy any soldering iron on the market, but it's the flux. The flux is the key. Buy some good flux. I have been in the throes of testing a few different fluxes for doing the repairs and stuff on the boards, and my God, I didn't realise that you get two fluxes, and the two fluxes do a completely different job. One does one job better, and the other does another job better. So getting the right flux helps. All of my tin solder, I use this stuff, which is plumber's solder, which is really, really thick and has heaps of flux in it. Apparently the flux is corrosive, but I haven't seen that on my packs yet because I washed all my batteries, and that's a completely different story. So the plumber's flux really worked well, and it's 60-40, I think. 3.2 millimeters. No, this is 50-50, but worked well for me. But I do have new bus bars. Look at this for a bus bar. I'm not going to show you the rest because I need to have some level of surprise for this next video. The new bus bar. It's still not straight. It's hard to get perfectly straight. Really, really hard to get perfectly straight. But that's the new bus bar. And there's some nickel strips going across underneath. So it's, and that's with of course, the fused nickel strip. So, but if you're a Patreon, I'll release you a sneak preview of that video today or tomorrow if you're Patreon. Other than that, it might be a few more weeks. All about 3D printing. Hi, I'm new about what's about. We are a community that play with 18650 batteries to run things like your 3D printer, because my 3D printer is shit. 3D printer, look at this. I finally got it printing, except now I broke a fan blade and it's really noisy. And it vibrates so much. But I tried to do the test print last night. That's the test print. Overhang test. Look at that for some 3D printing results. That looks like more fur than my mother-in-law in the 60s. Look at that. That's terrible. But I'm still learning with 3D printing, so it's all right. I should do another 3D printing video, but it'd end in fire, I think. I was thinking about buying a used Tesla battery, 24-volt black, changing solar energy. I can work out with Batrium. I was thinking about buying a used Tesla battery, 24-volt block to charge with solar energy. Can I outwork Batrium? Is it okay? Yes, you can use a Watchmon 7, which is what I have running up there in the background. So that... Nope, that didn't work. What have I got? That one, rightio. Now we got it. Had to work out which one it was. So that's my Watchmon 4, and that'll be going to a Watchmon 5. Look how much better balanced all those batteries are after I join them all up. They are so much better. I reckon I have got probably about 15-20% more capacity out of my batteries just because I joined all those batteries together. But that is not what we're talking about here. Where is it? So this is the Watchmon 7.3. There we go. I was hoping that it'd actually turn on. So that's Watchmon 7. So that is on a 7S pack, but it'll also do a 6S pack, not a problem, and a Tesla module. And in fact, I have a few videos about doing a Tesla module with the Watchmon 7. I think of the Watchmon 7, or no, that was a Watchmon 5 with 2 Tesla packs. I think you do 3 Tesla packs with 1 Watchmon 5. No, you can do 2 Tesla packs. You can do 5 with a Watchmon 5 and an MM8. More on that later. But yeah, so that battery management system will work on your Tesla module really well. I'm actually liking this Stream Deck now. I'm working out which buttons do what. JFP, what else have we got? I'm trying to madly catch up with the chat so I can start my day, get back to work, or start work. I was thinking about using everyone. I use a torch soldering iron, works amazing for me. I didn't even think about using a little butane torch. Now the thing is with mine, the caveat to the soldering thing and the bus bars, I've actually found this stuff. I bought this yesterday, and it's 10mm earth cable, and it's really heavy. 10mm earth cable. So I'm just going to put that out on the ground. I was using 6mm electrical cable and then stripping it out. But that's 10mm earth cable, so it's slightly thicker, fits into the lugs better and crimps better. So, and it'll carry the load better for my bigger batteries, which I was more concerned about. A torch. I brought 150 watt soldering iron tip, but it quit quickly. Replaced it with a lot of drive. Printer works now. Thanks. I think you can buy a really big soldering iron from eBay for fairly cheap. They get a lot of heat real fast, have a huge thermal mass. I used $15 soldering irons for all of my early batteries, and I just kept replacing them because it was cheaper to buy a new soldering iron than it was to replace the tip on it, and the tip's just flogged out. Hope you guys all the best. Wish you all the best. In troubled days, you need more cooling and print slower. The cooling, the slower. I'm not printing any slower. Dear God, that took 16 hours. Cooling is a problem because 2 of the fan blades are broken, and it vibrates the head. So it like the print nozzle would have been vibrating around as well, which wouldn't have helped. I thought I'd give it a crack. It was worth a try, right? Ender user retraction about 7mm. Ender, I think I'm going to get rid of it. I've spent so much money on this Ender 3. I got it for free for a review, done a video, and I've spent more money than I've earned on the video and commissions just trying to get it running, and I'm done with it. I've got new fans coming. If the fan doesn't work, I am literally just going to sell it or give it away or something. Under extrusion may be a bit hot for the tip. Solder torch for terminals, 100 watt and 60 watt soldering irons. HB, I'm beginning a new project, building wind turbines and installing solar system using Midnight Classic. I'm using some good gear. U4 chasing GPU rigs. Crypto mining. I don't know which battery type to use. Oh God, don't use batteries. Don't use batteries and mining rigs. It's just so expensive. It's madness. The retraction speed is also really important. Thanks for answering, Pete. Keep going what you're doing. Good videos, my friend. Learn, keeps up. Okay, I'm going to finish up the chat here. I'm going to read the rest of it. Please give me a thumbs up if I deserve it, and if I don't, give me a thumbs down. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I've got a few more there. Get a 90 watt soldering iron, electrode there, and we got, still haven't pulled that little inverter apart yet, Pete. I don't want to break it. It's such a good little inverter. I'll have to get it back to you one day. I'll have to buy one and replace it. Check out the Wello W100P. Has the shed had a makeover? Looks quite different from the last time you did a stream in there. No, not really. It just evolves. Are you saying you don't have a spare fan lying about from an old PC? Yeah, but they're 24 volt. I think they're 24 volt, not 12 volt. A huge amount of things to learn, so be very daunting. After lots of research, I started getting good search prints. Thank you very much. Why are you doing that? Thank you, Lithium Solar. 3D printing can be very frustrating. It absolutely is, and I have completely caught up, so I am going to absolutely run away before too many more people comment. Huge amount of things to learn can be very daunting. After lots of research, I started getting good results for my prints. I can't ever get good results for my prints because it's a shit printer. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one. Who votes that I start doing Monday morning live feeds every week, or just maybe once a month? I don't know. Thank you very much. I am